The Emerging Market Fund is a student-run real money portfolio where we invest a $200,000 endowment from one of our benefactors in emerging market companies.
Emerging markets, given all the stress and turmoil in Europe and even in the US here with all the banking crisis, that people realize that a lot of the growth is overseas, and that's where a lot of the investment opportunities are probably going to be in the next few years. So we think it's a critical point right now to learn how to invest in international equities.
The primary countries that make up the Emerging Market Index, which is the MSCI that we try to track, would be Brazil, Russia, India, and China. But we've actually also had quite a bit of experience in some of the more frontier economies like Chile, Argentina, Mexico, and then getting into Indonesia and the Philippines. And we're exploring Africa as well as parts of the Middle East.
Basically, every student in the class is an analyst in some ways, so everybody does their own report once a term.
We do a comparables analysis, which is where you take comparable companies and see how they're valued in the market, and then you compare that to how the company that you're looking at is valued, and then we do a DCF analysis, which is where you project out their cash flows into the next 10 to 20 years.
And so it's been really fun to come in as the first class and try to set precedents on the way they do things and maybe the processes for the way they go in the future. And then also actually make some of these investments. If my cohorts vote something in as a buy, we buy it with real money, and we're looking at the change every week. So that's been a really fun part of my week to week, and I really look forward on setting up some of these processes that the MBA classes in the future will be able to follow.
It's been a great first year. There's been a lot learned by the faculty as well as the students. We've learned that emerging markets are a lot different than domestic markets in terms of the types of issues you run into in valuing the companies. And I think it's really surpassed my expectations for what's possible to learn by looking at this other market. I've been surprised by some of the issues that we come across and the amount of learning that we have to all do in resolving those issues.
And it really gives our students a chance to become an analyst and even become a portfolio manager and be ready to work out in the real world, whether it's in an asset management company or even in a commercial bank doing credit work and other work with numbers as an analyst.
Working with real money definitely adds a dimension to the investment process that you don't normally get when you're just doing, say, a case analysis.
It's a chance to apply what we learn in all of the classes to sort of a real-world situation. And that's been very enjoyable to actually see. You get these problems in your finance courses and you always think it's a little abstract, but to actually do it to a real-life situation has been very interesting.
I think what this really does is it complements the classroom learning. So it gives you context to understand why the issues that we're talking about in the classroom are really critically important in valuing any company.
It's a really good opportunity for students in the MBA program here to get hands-on experience with real-life investing.
And for me, it has been an opportunity to really fine-tune my skill set, practice, and then show myself off to employers that this is something I have that will differentiate me from some of my peers at other schools.